Hello again everybody, I'm Jimmy the Saint, and welcome back to 7 Days to Die. This is Alpha 15. Alpha 15 is right around the corner. This is some footage that the developer has posted, and I thought I'd talk about some of the new features. The new experimental build of Alpha 15 is out, and I've been toying around with the random generating worlds and stuff like that, but this video here specifically is going to be about the new points of interest in Alpha 15, and the Navsgain map is going to have 5 new trading stations. This is one of them here, out in the snow biome, and you can see some new tiles that they've made and everything to kind of piece these together, some catwalks, some new roof tiles that lay at different angles and things, so there's lots of new things to see, but these are the new trading stations. This is the first one. I'm going to show you this one, and I'm going to show you a few more. I think there are 5 in Navsgain so far. Alright, this is the second one out in the wasteland here. And each of these are going to be a little bit unique in how they look. They're all going to be a trading station. They all appear randomly. You can tell them, I mean, they don't appear randomly, and I guess they have a chance to appear randomly in the random generating world, but they're all in set locations in Navsgain. You can tell them all by this flag up here. But they're all going to look a little bit different, have their own style to them. But they're all basically going to be the same, and you can go inside and trade. They're going to be set up to be completely impervious to zombies and that sort of thing, but their doors are going to be locked at night, so you can't get in, that sort of thing. They're still working on a lot of the features, so a lot of it may change by the time they've actually finished Alpha 15. Like I said, the experimental version is out. You can play the experimental version of Alpha 15 on Steam right now, but it's probably going to change a lot before it actually comes out. So this is the second one. Let's check out the third one real quick. Alright, this one is out in the forest biome. Again, you can see it does look significantly different than the first two, not only its location, but in the style. I'm going to go inside this one here and get a little bit of a look. I like this one the most so far. I like the treehouse look of it. Some of the new tiles and everything they've made or new textures they've made to create this, all the catwalks, and the wood pallets looking things on the ground, and the tree stands look really cool. I really like this one. Let's move on to the next one here. Okay, so the developer said this trading station is supposed to be like a storage unit out back, and we're actually going to go inside this one, and you can actually see the trader and how it looks inside here. Let's see. Here we go. So you can go inside the little trailer-looking building here, and there is a trader in each one of these that you can interact with. They actually have voiceovers for all these characters, these NPCs, and you can trade with them. The trading token, or the currency in the game, is those casino tokens. The Duke's casino tokens that never really had a use. You could always just scrap them or melt them down. Well, now they are actually the currency in the game, and you can trade with the traders, and you can also use them to buy things at vending machines. So that's a new feature. I'll go over the features in another video. Today I just kind of want to focus on the points of interest, so I'm going to skip to the next one. Alright, this is the last trading station. There are 5 of them, like I said, in Navsgain, and they do have a chance to appear randomly in the random world generator. This one's out in the snow biome. This one looks pretty neat. I like the snow effects out here when it's snowing. But they, like I said, they all have their similarities in the way they're styled, but they're all different as well. We'll briefly go inside this one and take a quick peek inside. You'll see some of the similarities and some of the differences here. But they all have that same like door that you can go in and out, and they will lock at night. At nighttime, they will throw you out of here because these buildings, these are impervious to zombies, these trading stations, because it's an NPC building, so they didn't really want it to be cheatsy and allow players to go inside them and just camp out all night. Okay, this is one of the new major buildings in the game. This is called the Ostrich, or Grand Ostrich Hotel. This is going to be, I guess, I don't know if this is replacing the old apartment building or if it's going to be used in addition to the apartment building. I haven't found in the actual game. This is footage that the developers have released. He has a YouTube channel. His name is Mad Mole, so if you get a chance, I'll link it down in the description, his channel. You can view these videos in much more depth, but they're very, very long. I edited them down a huge amount just to kind of, for time's sake, just kind of give a preview of what to expect in the new Alpha 15. This hotel is huge, and it looks really neat. I won't spoil anything, so if you guys want to see a little bit more of it, you can go to his channel and check it out. Alright, in addition to the Grand Ostrich Hotel, there are 2 little motels out in Navsgain. This is the Days End Suite. kind of, you know, typical American style, vacation style motel, a little ratty pool in there, but they're supposed to be working on some new sleeper zombies. It's not confirmed if they're going to be in Alpha 15 or not. That'll basically like be asleep in the bedrooms and things like that in buildings, and won't like wake up until you enter that room or until you enter that building, and then they'll be like laying on the floor, I guess, for jump scares and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the second one real quick. Alright, here's the second new hotel, or motel, whatever you want to call it. This one is the Motel 8, which I'm not sure if that name is going to stay, because I think technically there is already a Motel 8 in real life in the United States, but this one looks pretty similar to the other one. It is a slightly different layout, so I'm not... you see hotels like this all over the United States, little motels like this, and they're really cool. I'm not going to spoil any of it, but I really like the idea of the sleeper zombies being asleep, so that ought to be an interesting feature when we actually get to check these out in the game. Alright, if you guys remember from Alpha 14, in my Alpha 14 playthrough, we spent a lot of time at the police station, which is next to this building here, the high school. And one of the new features they've added, or new points of interest they've added, is the new football stadium. This is the back of the school here, and you can see this is like a parking area or an entrance to the actual football stadium, which is right here, is the football stadium. You go inside that, and I like it. It's really neat. They've got this, you know, the seating and the Coliseum style stairway up here, and then you look down at the field, and they've actually got it all marked off with lines, with the yardage and all that. I really like it. It's big 7 in the center. Really neat looking football field there. That's a nice touch. And there's supposed to be new zombies. There are football player zombies, and there are cheerleader zombies, which are a couple of the new zombies we'll see. Lots of new zombies. I'll go over those in another video, but let's move on to the next point of interest. I like the football stadium. I'm going to definitely check that out when we get in the game. Okay, so this one is really interesting to me. It's an auto parts store, and it's an O'Reilly auto parts store out here in the desert. So, as some of you may know, I actually work at an auto parts store. That is my full-time job. You know, I just like doing YouTube videos on the side because it's fun and it's exciting. But yeah, so this one I will definitely have to seek out and check it out and see what it looks like. I'm not going to spoil it here, but here's a quick peek inside. It kind of actually looks like a parts store, you know, like a retail place. So that'll be really fun to check out. Okay, next up is one of the new points of interest, and this one is a underground base. This one is all new, and it's supposed to be like really well hidden. They don't even show the entrance to it, so it'll be tricky to find. Hopefully we can find this in Nav's game and check this out for real. So I'm not going to put any spoilers, but there is an all new underground base, and this one looks completely different than the underground base that we've seen previously. So we'll have to spend some time trying to find that in the actual game. Next up, we have the all-new, I guess this is an oil refinery, or I don't know exactly what they're calling it or how they're describing it, but it looks like an oil refinery to me, and it's called they've got like a name on the side of the building there, a gas co or whatever, and there's oil barrels out there. But this is going to be a really big POI here, and they've had something similar to this before, but never quite like this. They've got a lot of new textures and a lot of new shapes, I guess. I don't know how you really call it in a voxel game, but this one will be a really cool place to check out. It kind of reminds me of the factory that we've seen in Alpha 14 previously, and Alpha 13 I think it might have been as well. But this is a new point of interest. We'll have to seek this one out in the game. All of these that I'm showing you are in Navis game. Most of them will appear in the random world generator, I think, with the exception of the football stadium. It will not be in random gen, but you should be able to find all the other ones in random gen worlds too. Alright, next up is the Am I Gone Funeral Home, which is kind of a funny name, but the developer said he's probably going to change that sign, and it probably won't be called that in the final version of this building. This is another new building for Alpha 15, new point of interest. Of course, when you find these out in the actual game, this is just like developer footage here, but when you find these out in the actual game, they'll be crawling with zombies and stuff like that, so it'll be pretty frantic to explore them like it is. Usually you have to fight to get in, that sort of thing. But look forward to checking this one out in the game. It ought to be pretty neat too. Next up is one of my favorites. This is the new prison, and the developer said he was kind of inspired by the Walking Dead series, and I think it was the season 5 or 4 where they were holed up in the prison all season, and it looks really, really neat. I've already found this in a random gen world in one of the towns. There's one of these prisons I found in a random gen world I created and just to explore. But this thing is awesome looking. I love the look of this building, and it is concrete everywhere. I mean, if you could get inside this, you would have no troubles defending it, I would think. With all the concrete and steel reinforcement all around, this ought to be a really great point of interest to explore. Alright guys, this is the last building style POI, I think. And this one, the developer said, was inspired by Half-Life, and this is the Red Mesa Facility. This is going to be an above and underground base. It's like a restricted area, and there's an underground base element to it, and it's also obviously got above ground elements as well. But this one looks really neat with all the barbed wire and the reinforced concrete everywhere. This would be a nice place to hole up in and make a pretty cool base out of, and you'd probably survive pretty well against the zombies here. This would be a neat one to try and find. Probably going to be in the desert, it looks like, too, so we'll may have to spend a little more time in the desert this time in Alpha 15. Alright, again, another desert POI here, and this one is amazing. The Dead Man's Gulch. Basically, they are mimicking the Grand Canyon with this thing. It is a massive canyon, and you get up here to the top of this bridge, and you can see it. And we actually, I remember being in this exact location in Alpha 14, so I have a pretty good idea of where this is going to be in the game. Let's see, let me skip ahead a little bit and get to this bridge and check it out. Alright, here we go. So this will give a really good view of the canyon here, and this is the bridge that blew out, and this crosses the canyon. You can see just how massive this canyon is, and it goes on for as far as you can see, a really long distance in both directions, actually. You look over here to the other side, and this canyon is just massive. This would be an incredible place to explore, also because there is stuff to explore down in the bottom of the canyon. Let's go check that out. Alright, down here in the bottom of the canyon, now I thought one of the cool things to do up at the top of the canyon and that bridge is like build a ramp to jump across the canyon. It'd be really cool if you could build a ramp and ride your motorbike across it. But down here in the bottom of the canyon, there's like some ruins down here. I don't know if this is supposed to be like a cave or like an old Indian settlement or something like that, but this would be something awesome to find. I'm not going to go in and spoil it or anything, just wanted to get a quick look at it, and we're going to jump back outside real quick and show you one last thing. Alright guys, last up on the tour here is the overlook of the Dead Man's Gulch, or the Grand Canyon, whatever you want to call it. And this is a really neat point of interest here. Last on the list, It kind of looks like one of the cabins that have been in the game previously, but this one overlooks like a great scenic overlook of this canyon, which is awesome looking. I'm tempted to build a base here, but I'd be too afraid to fall off the damn thing and die. You can see the bridge out there in the distance and just how massive this canyon is. It's really, really neat. So that's going to wrap up this Alpha 15 preview video, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be playing Alpha 15 as soon as it launches. Like I said, the experimental build is out, but it's still got a lot of bugs and everything that they're working on. It's just basically they just put it out there so that people could help them test it and iron out all the bugs before they actually release it. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, guys. As always, I post a new video every day. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for watching.